All right, folks, welcome back to another edition of the Fightful Wrestling Weekly, brought to you by the fine folk over at Fightful.com. Pretend that this isn't here. This isn't real. My room's just super messy right now, and instead of cleaning it like a real adult with 2 jobs and credit card bills and phone bills on his own to pay, I threw up a fabric because I'm a grown man. Joining me, we have Tim. Tim, how are you doing?
Pretty good. I would say, how are you doing? But you pretty much gave your whole life story there.
I gave my whole life story and then some. The book's coming out soon. You can get it on Audible.
Awesome.
But before you listen to the book, let's listen to this week's RAW Smackdown production notes that Sean wrote over on Fightful.com. That was a good segue.
All right, so Sean writes specific instructions for how to shoot something to use RF mics. To the use of RF mics, particular lines like, one of these superstars will seize critical momentum heading into their Money in the Bank ladder match. Next! And even wrestlers having certain body parts taped up was in the Raw script. There was also voiceover notes, such as Alexa Bliss was demanding to have an entrance. Full script can be seen up at Fightful Select. The title of SmackDown this week was Contract Disputes, in reference to Money in the Bank. And Raw's title was The Monster Plan.
Yeah, so there are 2 people that I genuinely want to talk to. I really want to talk to John Cena and Michael Cole.
Okay.
So when you look at a lot of the Raw script notes and SmackDown script notes, that Sean Ross Sapp posts, they talk a lot about specific instructions, as in use these words specifically, or have these exact body parts taped up. Now, I want to talk to a young Michael Cole and a young John Cena, where they had to go by these scripts very heavily. They were put on that, like, you have to go by this. This is what we are telling you to do, as compared to now, where they almost can flip it on the fly. We saw how good Michael Cole could be without someone in his ear at that UK tournament almost a year ago now. And we see John Cena cut a promo, and the difference between a Cena promo from Ruthless Aggression to his last few promos going up against The Undertaker and back about a year ago against AJ Styles. So the dynamic between that is so interesting to me, to see how you can go from being so heavily scripted to being so loose, but it always seems like the scripts are so tight. They're so nitpicky. It's almost like a really mean teacher telling you what to do.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And it's rough, and I couldn't imagine it would be easy on them. But luckily, Sean Ross Sapp gets the inside scoop on them each week, and he puts it out right here in the Fightful Wrestling.
And he also writes, as far as the producers go for SmackDown, Adam Pearce was given production duties for the opening match, Daniel Bryan versus Shelton Benjamin. An interesting note on this is that Pearce competed against Bryan several times when the 2 were both in Ring of Honor and on the independent circuit. He writes that Mr. Doot Michael Hayes helped to put together the Samoa Rusev match featuring Miz as the rough referee. And JB Noble was producer for Jeff Hardy versus Nakamura. Also, the 10-woman tag was done by Tyson Kidd and Sarah Stock.
Yeah, all really good matches. I think SmackDown this week had some decent matches behind it. I really liked that Joe Rusev match with the Maze angle in it. The 10 women tag match, not the 10 women tag match. Apparently, I'm Sylvester the Cat now. That 10 woman tag match was really, really good for what it was. It had good storytelling right up to the very end. I thought it was great. I thought it was very, very good personally.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And, I mean, people said it online. SmackDown was a little better than Raw this week, and I agree with that.
So right now we're going to send you over to an interview with Shane Taylor. Enjoy.
I believe your first appearance for Ring of Honor may have been back in 2015. How has the company changed since you came in for those few dark matches that you did, I think, late 2015, early 2016?
Obviously it's been growing the last few years, and with one of the things that impresses me so much is our ability as a company to not lose a step depending on who's here. We don't really reset as a company. We reload. So there's every year you see guys leave or guys come in, and nothing changes. Like, everybody still continues to get better. Everybody continues to up their game and up the bar. So watching that growth and watching that change has been one of the most impressive things to me.
You teamed with Keith Lee for quite a while. He signed with WWE. Did you have any conversation about him going to WWE?
We've talked. We talked when he first made the move to go to Evolve, and just what his goals were, what his plans were, and so to see everything that he's doing now and where he's going next is really cool. I wish him nothing but the best, and I know he's going to be as successful there as he was traveling the world and competing in whether it be the Independence or Evolve. He's a guy that's going to be successful wherever he goes.
And if you guys want to see the full interview, head over to Fightful.com. Now, this weekend, and bleeding a little bit into even the start of the week, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
No, it was most of the week. It was all the way to Thursday.
Yeah, it was most of the week. It was E3. Tim, what was your favorite game from E3? Hurry.
Oh, I don't even know. Spider-Man?
I'd say Smash Bros.
Ooh, that's
I'm
a tough
so
one.
Excited. I'm so excited.
The only reason I might say Spider-Man is because I have a PS4 and I don't have a Nintendo Switch yet.
Fair. That's very fair. But that's not the only thing that happened. At E3, the New Day had a bit of a gaming competition, and I know what you're thinking.
They were present multiple days.
Yeah, because Xavier Woods was present for the Fortnite tournament, which happened on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were present for a couple of other things, and I know what you're thinking. They were on Smackdown Live on Tuesday. How did that happen? How did they show up in both Memphis and LA? Well, we're going to tell you how, because Sean Ross wrote about it.
So Sean Ross writes, The New Day weren't actually at WWE Smackdown Live this week, and their video featuring them laughing their asses off was filmed last week. They were at E3 to compete against Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks in a video game competition, which got coverage on WWE.com.
Now, I want listen to how weird this sounds. Close your eyes. Picture yourself in a beautiful landscape. You're in a beautiful place. You got an ice cold drink in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you got your favorite food item in your hand. You're eating, and someone comes down and whispers to you, the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, along with the New Day, will fight in a video game tournament at E3. You'd think that's pretty weird.
Not necessarily when you see the last 3 years Omega and Xavier Woods.
That's very true because of Woods' YouTube channel. But
well, not even. Actually, interesting thing about this, which I didn't even know. Woods, okay, so start the week off. Tuesday they were in E3 because Xavier Woods participated in a Pro-Am Fortnite tournament for charity. He ended up, him and his partner came in 24th place, raising...
Hey, Woods, if you're looking for a better partner, I can DM you my Fortnite.
Anyways,
if you're looking for a better partner.
They came in 24th, and they raised $10,000 for Connor's Cure. Anyways, interesting thing. So we've known the last couple of years the CEO gaming, fighting gaming tournament deal. We've seen Xavier Woods, Kenny Omega. Mm-hmm. Well, Omega kind of spilled the beans because a lot of people always thought, oh, they were friends going way far back. Mm-hmm. Omega literally said, 4 years ago, Kenneth, I slipped into your DMs when I realized how big of a fighting gaming fan you were. So they've only apparently been in contact with each other for 4 years now. Many people thought it was way longer than that.
Yeah, I mean,
I just thought it was funny when he goes. I just thought it was funny when he goes, when I slid into your DMs.
That's what all boys should do. Slide into other boys' DMs. That's
yeah,
how
with
you
that
that's
they've
how
done.
You make friends.
They've done multiple tournaments together. They've done. I think they did one video maybe that was on Up Up Down Down. Now, granted, I can really see them allowing, because WWE basically runs Up Up Down Down. So I can now see them allowing an actual full-on video or multiple videos with Omega now that WWE was promoting this E3 thing so hard.
Well, not only did they promote the E3 thing so hard, they even uploaded a match of Kenny Omega from, 2006?
This is 5 or 6 from Deep South Wrestling.
Deep South Wrestling. I'm going to watch that tonight.
So,
but they did upload a match with them. So it looks like the relationship between the two companies is...
No, I don't know if it would be that.
Neutral?
No, I don't know if you can say that. It's just the fact if they had something in their library that they can do whatever they wanted with.
That's very true, but it's suspicious that it came after the 7-star match.
In the end, the Elite did lose to the New Day, but in singles competition, Omega did beat Woods And I just found it funny the whole time because, on Up, Up, Down, Down, he's not Xavier Woods. He's Austin Creed. So Omega the whole time is calling him Creed. But anytime Woods would say Kenny, he wouldn't call him Kenny. He was Kenneth. He's like, that's your full name, Kenneth.
It's your legal name.
I can't remember what his middle name is, but Big E said it. He said his full name.
It's Kenneth. Literally the best professional wrestler that has ever set foot on this planet. Omega. Crazy name.
But yeah, I mean, if you do want to see the whole thing of them going at it at E3, the Elite, the New Day.
The New Bucks.
The New Bucks. The New Day. Bucks. It's all up on the Up, Up, Down, Down YouTube channel.
Yeah, for sure. So, to close out this week's edition of the Fightful Wrestling Weekly, I mean, we're going to do it like we do every week. We're going to send you over to the list, and your boy, whether it was a rough episode or not, I'm still going to send you up to it. Love you guys. Bye.
Now, I was on a media call with Triple H today, and I thought that whether or not I got the invite on that call was going to be a pretty good indication of if WWE was super pissed or not. Got the invitation, didn't get a question in. But Triple H, I don't think it's a secret how he feels. Mm-hmm. He holds these calls for wrestling media, in particular. He knows there are people like me, like Ryan Satin, like Justin LaBar, who make their career off of covering pro wrestling and want to push the journalism aspect the right way. Aggregation is a necessary evil in this line of work, unfortunately. But I think that if they opened up their talent to people like me, people like Ryan, they would get a smarter kind of coverage. They would get a better kind of coverage because I've mentioned this before. If WWE comes to Lexington, they're not going to ask me to interview Sasha Banks. They're going to ask WLEX, and WLEX is going to cut that same thing you always see. Wow, Sasha, look at your arms. They're really nice. What do you eat?
Yeah.
I bet your schedule's really crazy, right? And that's what they want. And they hope that we'll aggregate that. But the thing is, the websites have they get a short mention for that stuff now. They're not getting full, robust articles. I interviewed Shane Taylor this week for Ring of Honor. We're going to get 3 articles out of that. We're going to get a segment on Listen Your Boy eventually. We're going to get a video on it. More people will see it than if he had went to WLEX, because that's the way that wrestling fans consume their news. I don't hear a lot of people saying, man, I'm refreshing on ESPN.com to see what's new in the wrestling world these days. That just doesn't happen. So I think a change will come eventually, but I think that change is a big part of Triple H too.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure. And we've talked about it before. I got a few questions about this Corey thing. So the first thing is, did you ask him whether he thinks that Punk didn't want to befriend anybody in WWE because he was worried about repercussions because of the pending lawsuit at the time?
I did, but all he really said was he didn't see, nothing that he tweeted was corporate, and he just said that he was more offended that he turned his back on the business and stuff. So
I'm just wondering if Punk's mentality, was, I don't want to be friends with you because your company's going to sue me, and I don't know if anything I say you might then tell them.
Yeah, I mean, I could, but I mean, then Colt Cabana was backstage too recently. But see, the thing is, there were rumors that there was a falling out because of that as well. And I had heard, and you could tell this situation had a profound impact on Colt Cabana.
Oh, of course.
Especially financially.
For sure, for sure.
And his attorney said on his podcast that he, in his 45 years of law, nothing that he has done has ever caused a verdict so quickly for a trial so long.
Right. Another question I have, I thought Punk and Kofi were still tight.
I didn't ask about that. I even specified to him, you don't need to name names, but are there others who have done this? And he goes, well, I'm not going to name names, but yeah, there are.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I didn't want anybody else implicated. That's the thing. On any given week, I talk to a half dozen WWE wrestlers, not including all the other places, but I can't go on the record with them.
Yeah.
And they won't go on the record with me. I don't even bother asking them to go on the record with me because I know the answer. So, and honestly, the things that I ask, I've said this before, unless it's right before the show, I don't report storyline news, and that's based on the script information I'm given, because I don't see a benefit of it. It changes so much based on the whims of a 70-something-year-old guy. That
until it airs on television, you're right.
It's not worth it to me. Yeah. So what I tend to do is I ask the people that I know how they feel about certain things, how their bodies are holding up, what they see changing. I take the temperature of things, and then I address those, and I'll write articles accordingly. And I pride myself on being objective and trying to push things in the right direction where maybe a lot of people don't think wrestling journalism can go. And I think there's a lot of people that are doing that. And I think Triple H sees that. I hope Corey Graves sees that. And I hope he helps encourage that as well, because I think that we covered it pretty damn fairly.